Have you ever done this before? You've got a bottle of milk, except this is a bottle of milk filled with water, you'll see why in a few moments, and kind of lifted it up and then accidentally let go. So it sort of jumped up and got you. Well, that is the physics behind a supernova explosion. Now, in this case, what has happened, I dropped the bottle and the water pushed, when the bottle came to a stop on the bench, the water pushed down onto the plastic bottom, which flexed, and then it pushed up back onto the water and produced what is called a shock wave, which travelled all the way through the water. And when the shock wave reached the top of the water, there was no more water to push on, so it just got there, and so it then jumped up. Now, in a supernova explosion, that's when a star, which is 8 or more times massive than our sun, it comes to the end of its life, and there's a big iron core in the centre, and as soon as the mass of that iron core goes over a certain limit, it just suddenly collapses in a fraction of a second. In fact, if we were in a star watching it and we blinked at the wrong time, we would miss it. The core would just suddenly collapse, and it shrinks right down, so all of the nuclei, neutrons and things like that are pushing against each other, and then that core, it goes from 1,000 kilometres down to just about 20 kilometres in radius. It squishes right down, and then it rebounds. And in the meantime, the rest of the star's been following close behind that core, and then it smashes into the rebounding core, and then we get a shock wave which propagates out from that core through the star, taking a few hours, and then when it reaches the edge of the star, because there's no more star, there's just space, it then blows off the star into outer space. And that's a type 2 supernova explosion. It has really kind of ragged edges because of the type of explosion that it is, and the Crab Nebula is a good example of that, and that's got these sort of ragged edges from the kind of the intensity and the kind of randomness of the explosion.